entering into a critical turn. The price is showing reversal pattern, which is huge reversal pattern, when the market shows you that the governments are ready for this, and the winners of digital fiats will be those who envision the future properly. Here in this particular scenario, you can see XRP being supported there, right? The national record shows support for cross-border payments and virtual currency XRP. It shows that the rule is in effect from 21st July. But keep in mind that due to the pandemic, they have actually given an extension for that until Jan 1, 2021. So that's like 3 months from now, right? 3 months for XRP to be used in a federal use case for cross-border payments and settlements. So as we try to understand more about the space, we get better at it. That's for sure, right? Then the vision of a reserve currency for cross-border payments between the digital fiats is becoming true, and the chosen one is coming on to the spotlight. But when that's happening, BTC seems to have a problem from the Chinese authorities, and that's not a minor issue. Now, how will this affect us? What to expect after all of these? What price target should we actually look at? All of these are following, right? We are actually looking at price, we are following all of this, and we are going to explain everything in this video, and that is coming soon. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. First of all, we just hit 10k subscribers, 10,000 subscribers for this channel within an year. We started last November, and by the end of this September, we reached 10,000 subscribers, and I'm really thankful for all of you guys who have been supporting this channel from the initial days, who have been supporting now, who are looking forward for every content being put out at this channel. So that's a huge support for you guys, because you guys are the reason for my motivation, research, and the data which I present here. Now, when we actually look at all of this stuff, you really have to understand one thing. If you receive value, you have to support the channel. You have to hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any doubt, if you have anything to discuss, you can let me know that in the comment section below. So if you would like to extend your support, you can open your heart, you can use the Patreon, PayPal, or the XRP wallet address in the description below. Patreon will actually allow you to access more or unlock more value for your portfolio, which would be having other assets, not only XRP, right? XRP related information, majority of them are being put out here. Rest of the assets like say BTC, Ether, and others in crypto like Link, Lend, and other stuffs, the charts setups are being posted for those who have that in their portfolio, and the others for the common trade setups for silver and other assets are also being put out in the Patreon. So if you would like to get those, you can check out the Patreon, and that's the link is in the description below. And along with that, all of these articles which I present to you guys, if you guys would like to read through that, that's in the description as well. Now, why we say it's entering a critical turn? Now, if you look at this highlighted here, say here it's actually showing a positive side volume, but MACD has MACD has negative issues, meaning it can actually go to the downside. It is showing like that. MACD is going to cross to the downside, which usually is negative. Whenever you look at that MACD, when it crossed, it was going, the price pushed much down, right? But there is a difference. If it is entering in a bull run, it's actually different. Now, why we actually highlight that? In order to show that, I would actually like to take you guys into BTC chart. Say this is a BTC chart, which is you can understand this is as of now the pattern which we are making and what you can understand. And BTC is also having a similar issue with the MACD. Like the MACD tried to cross to the downside, it bounced again, it tried to cross to the downside, and it just crossed at that end, so what we are looking at, if you look at a previous scenario here before the bull run in Bitcoin, we had a similar situation where we were being supported at one end, and each support were kind of higher than the previous one. If you look at these, you'll understand that. But the price was being resisted at a particular level. Now, if you look at the current scenario, it's something similar to that. We broke below, the price was being restricted there, and then the price broke above that and tested that again. If you look here, that same happened. After breaking that, it came back, it tested that. And when that test was happening, what you actually getting on RSI was a bullish momentum there, showing the possibility for the price to move to the upside, which is similar to what you're getting right now here. Now, if you zoom in on that scenario when it was happening previously, say the price went to the upside, it came back, retested, and that point the price was showing positive side, like higher highs, higher lows, but MACD was showing that it's going to go to the downside, along with the RSI showing a divergence there, showing there are chances that the price may go down. But what really happened? The price went high, and rest is history, right? The price went from that lower point towards the sky high of 20,000. Imagine the price was literally around $200 at the bottom, and it went to $20,000. So the sign here which we were focusing on is this, right? The MACD crossing to the downside. And when we zoom in on that one, we can understand just before that burst to the upside, MACD was actually showing that it may go to the downside along with the RSI. But what really happened or followed is this thing. Now, if you look at XRP, you are getting something similar here. You are looking at an area where the price is being restricted or resisted, and it is actually creating a higher highs here. See this one, then this one, and this one. I haven't actually plotted that similar to that of BTC like this, because BTC for BTC, it actually looks something like it's all in the similar range, but only when you follow that in measures, you will understand that it is actually creating higher lows. And similarly here, you can understand that XRP is clearly making that trend here. So when we look at that, we understand the chances of a bull run. Now, if you zoom in and understand on this particular area for XRP, you can understand that the price was being restricted at this particular area, and the price was going to the downside at till this area, right, till that wick. But something just changed after that. The price started trending to the upside. It was trending to the downside. You had a downward trend line acting as a support there, but from here it actually changed, right? It was acting as a support, and it is still acting as a support, because as we can see, the price is making this candle, 2-candle reversal pattern. This is known as. If you would like to see as an example, if you look here, this is what we are getting. That's a bullish 2-bar reversal pattern, and we are getting that on a daily. That really is important to understand that, because we are getting that on a daily. And when we move back a bit to look at XRP, we can see some critical moves. Say if you are just following the pattern along with the support resistance idea, and then say here the RSI, you actually get a positive trend there. In the RSI, you get a positive trending channel, a rising channel, and here you actually get that the support is this particular trend line, and this is acting as a resistance. So when you actually make this kind of a triangle pattern, usually you can measure the bottom from here to the top and target that one here, and that takes us way above the 0.4, 0.5 range. So that's on this particular view. Now, if you are zooming in and looking at what really is happening, the price was coming to the downside, and it's now acting as a support here. Now, it was a previous resistance, previous support before that, so that is happening. Now, when all of this is happening and the price is really below this particular line, which is 0.32, and trending to the downside and then changing it to the upside, the MACD is from all the way from last September to this September, which is 1 year, MACD is trending to the upside. If you take a 3-day chart and look at that, you can understand the price is having a strong bullish strength in the bottom. That's the underlying strength, which is going to push the price much higher like a slingshot when it happens, and majority of us would be surprised asking why that just happened or what just happened. Even majority of guys who would be watching this video would be asking, if you get a sky high pump in 3 days or a week, you're asking what just happened, why did that happen, when we have all of these reasons for XRP to go towards all-time highs. Majority would be surprised, right? And that is why we are looking at these type of charts. Here in this particular pattern, you can understand price corrected towards 50.5 and retracement levels, and then here we just retraced back just below the 0.618 mark. Now you also have to understand that 0.618 mark is the horizontal support resistance zone, and then just below that is this trend line support where the price actually came back to find that support. Now when we say that, do understand we are getting similar pattern in Bitcoin as well, because that really is important to understand. Now when Bitcoin is going to bounce here, it will increase the Bitcoin dominance and it may push the alts slower. But at the same time, if alts are getting more traction from investors and moving to the upside, Bitcoin dominance may actually fall and you would be watching an alt season. But in this case, Bitcoin would also be going to the upside, but the ratio or the percentage would be lesser than that of the altcoins. Now that was an entire technical session, right? But when we actually look at the fundamental side of it to understand that how things are really changing, governments are with XRP, we can actually state that just by looking at this national records, the Federal Register, and understanding that. Why? Because when we move inside that document, we get a lot of information that it is completely about payments. It's completely about cross-border payments, and it is showing that consumers are going to get much value. Now, when we look at providing more value for cross-border payments, banks doesn't have much of a margin here unless they loot these customers. So what will they actually do? They'll actually have to partner with institutions which can offer them that tool to get or make that transfer simple and easy. Now, that being said, you have to understand that banks would be looking at central bank digital currency soon rather than later, because it's really happening now. This particular article from medium.com shows EU announces full regulatory framework for cryptocurrency. So what we just saw previously was a leaked document. We were actually thinking whether it's kind of, it's confirmed, what's going on, is it just a leaked document, it's a fake document. We were actually thinking about that, but now it really shows, yes, it really is happening. Regulations on markets in crypto assets. Now they are calling it assets, meaning that is for investment. They are not considering it as a currency. That is a huge achievement for most of the cryptocurrency in this world. Now when we say that, still understand, investors would come in where there is liquidity, because they will have to pump, dump, or invest for long term and take our profit looking at the liquidity. Now if they have that liquidity in the market, then yes, they would be looking to get good prices for that. Now do understand, when they highlight it as crypto assets and then showcase about digital asset custody and capital requirements, investors or institutions bringing in investors are waiting for this. And once that happens, all of this turns. Now you can actually see that all of this are really happening because the market is turning to the upside, or else you can say that they are coming in and they are turning this market. As we speak, you can see that the candle is now becoming an engulfing pattern. It may actually, now it's almost there and it can really become that. Now if you look at this particular aspect, you don't actually need to be an engulfing candle to showcase that you are going to the upside. It's a reversal pattern, right? If you even get an engulfing pattern, it may go downside. Why? Because that was not in the perfect buy area, meaning the support resistance area. It was trending to the downside, right? But here you can see that long term support area, and go back into XRP chart and look at what that range was. It was acting as a long-term resistance, support from a long term. If you zoom out and look at it, you can understand even in 2017 that area was a support, and still it's acting as a support. So when we say that, do understand institutions may be the guys who are pushing the price up now, because they are getting the regulatory clarity and now they are ready for this bull run. And what should we expect as institutions enter into this bull run and push the price to the upside? It's really going to get confusing, because we can actually say that there would be a huge volatility which would be pushing the price way upside than we all expect. Why? Because say if you are expecting $10 XRP, $30 XRP, then they would be looking at much higher price or lower price than that. Looking at these fundamentals, one side is for sure they are not looking at lesser price than that. They would be looking at much higher price than that. Now, why I say that? If you are a holder, say your average is 0.2, 0.25 or wherever it is, and they are going to buy and push the price up, say $10, $20, and you are thinking, okay, that's it, XRP is going into a bubble and it is going to go down, then you are going to take your profit. Now at this stage, they will pump the market again, maybe 10 times from there. That would be like $300, $200, $300 XRP. What will happen in between is you are going to take your profit at around 20 or 30 depending upon your targets, and then after you watch that the price is going to the highs 50, 70, 100 and all, you would be entering back into the market. Like the liquidity is being provided again by the chasers, those who are chasing the market, and that liquidity would be used by the institutions to get out or take profit at a much higher price than you did, and automatically those guys entering or chasing that market would be stuck there. Like majority of us were stuck with XRP when they were pushing the price from this 0.2 level to the 2.8, 3, 3.5, 3.8, then towards the downside. Majority just got stuck there, right? And that's why when we move to the upside this time, we may see a lot of individuals getting out of the market or taking profit in between that 0.38 towards $4 or $5 and just below that $2 to $3 mark, because a lot of people would be stuck there looking to just cash out if they haven't capitulated yet and they are holding. Now, to understand, some of them who have bought their positions here and got stuck there really had time to dollar cost average their positions and reach around 0.2 or below that. Now, I'm one of that guys who bought a lot of positions during that time chasing the market. I wasn't well educated about crypto that time or the market cycle of crypto, and I was buying. But then I understood that no, I was doing wrong thing. The market was showing you a distribution phase and it started going down. Then I started dollar cost averaging and pushed my average way below that. Now I'm happy to have an average somewhere around 0.17 to 0.2 in different exchanges, but say the average would be around just below 0.2. So that's actually a good scenario, right, for those who are holding. Now if these scenarios are turning out and the XRP and XLMs are becoming the chosen one, you would be looking at central bank digital currencies in various type of issues. Then you will also be looking at stable coins. Now the stable coin can be something which should be or which would be used within a geographic region. Now say you have a stable coin from any, say, Circle or other institution for backed by USD, that's still backed by USD. So if Chinese are to trade, they will say, no, we are not looking for something backed by USD. Instead, we'll need something neutral. We don't need that thing. And the vice versa from US too, when they are looking at Chinese, right? So in a domestic region, you can see stable coins thriving. But for cross-border, it may not be the case. You would be having a reserve asset for fiat to fiat, digital fiat or digital currency to digital currency transaction. And that's not the way we are looking at it. Right now we can actually see that the fundamental is so strong for XRP, but for Bitcoin it's actually becoming worse, right? The issues with one country to another, like US to China, is kind of pushing this to an end. Now, if China itself is taking moves like this, Bitcoin can get hurt, and whenever usually Bitcoin gets hurt, it pushes the entire market along with it. And at the same time, you can see institutions like JP Morgan doing what they usually do, the manipulation. Now, why I highlight this? This was happening in the silver markets when they were, pushing the price so down. They were keeping the price so down, so much down, making a depression among investors. Now, if you look at the chart of XRP and silver, you can get something similar. And that's why I say institutions are already doing the accumulation in XRP and just making you depressed, so that you would be going out and they would push the price up and you will come back, chase the price, and they will take profit. That's usually how the institution make money, manipulating the market. You should be having a strong psychology and understanding that the market works like this, which would give you a bit of motivation to stay out of the market when the market is pumping. Because watching your portfolio, say even with 5k, 10k or any amount of XRP, would be showing dramatical profits when it is pumping, and with a long wick to the downside, it would be like 50% of your profits are gone. So you may be tempted to take the profit out there. Now, if you are an individual who has set profit, take profit clearly, say at this particular area I'm going to take this much, you are only going to do that. So you should be having that cognitive ability and a strong psychological support from your end. And to get that strong psychological support, what you actually need is more and more education about the space. Because when we say the total crypto space, it is thriving. Look at this. Individuals from Google, Venmo, Adobe, everyone is getting into the crypto space. If this space is to go away today, tomorrow, or next year, they won't be actually coming in. These are guys who actually went into Google, Adobe, those institutions which we all look up to. Say when we were in our colleges, universities, wherever we were looking at, wow, what if I can get there, right? And these are individuals, those talented guys with those kind of skills coming into crypto space because they understand this is the future. So the question is, are you interested in this future, or are you looking at the other way? Because this is going to get worse. From the IMF, it shows that coronavirus issue can be stagnating many economies for a long time. And at the same time, I also saw a news, say for example in India, the long holidays are getting over, meaning time is there. Time was there, you don't have to actually pay your mortgages back. You had a moratorium on those loans, but now you have to pay the mortgages, you will have to pay back the loans and everything when you don't have that much income. And that's going to actually push more of a capitulation in the stock market and in other side of investing, because they need more fund to stay relevant, meaning they have to service these loans, right? So look for capitulation in stock market and in some areas of gold, silver, and that's what we are really seeing. Those guys who accumulated at 12 or 13, $14 for the silver are now actually taking profit because the price actually doubled and they need to pay back all of these loans, mortgages, whatever it is. But those who are understanding this perspective would be looking at crypto space, because giants are entering into the market, governments are giving that clarity. That's actually cool to stay, and this is a huge green time for investors now, not in the term of price but in the term of fundamentals and the market timing. Guys, if you saw value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. If you would like to support the channel and the research executed here and the information provided to you guys, please use that PayPal, Patreon or XRP wallet address given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.